Did you know that there is one key area to your website that is the most overlooked area of opportunity to differentiate your funeral home versus another? My name is Michael Tasner, and I'm the president and CEO of the Funeral Home Marketing Group. We look at websites from a completely holistic view. We look at how are they going to be for at need? How are they going to be for pre-need? How is the number one most visited page, which is the obituary page, looking, feeling across different devices? But when I start to look at all of these different funeral home websites, one thing completely stands out as a red sore thumb. Now, the good news is most of your competitors are not aware of this. The better news is that when you start to make these pivots and tweaks to your website, you're going to find you're going to obtain more brand equity. You're going to start to get more pre-need. You're going to continue to get more at need just by changing one core thing. That one core thing is what makes your funeral home different. How are you different? How are you better? How are you more unique? Now, when I go through and I look at your website, the content is literally almost exactly the same. We have compassionate care. We'll make sure you're well taken care of. We'll treat you like family. A lot of the content is the exact same content I see on every single funeral home website. But when I actually call and I talk to one of your directors, when I actually call and talk to you and say, tell me what makes your funeral home unique. Why are you the experts? Why should I trust my needs with you? I start to pull out a lot of things that are very, very unique. Now, there are some funeral homes that have went to the nth degree to really separate themselves out. One funeral home, for example, wants you and your family and relatives and friends to stay far beyond what could be considered the norm. They have all different kinds of Starbucks coffee and a full latte bar and all different kinds of drinks, and they want it to be a bit more of a casual gathering rather than what might be deemed a traditional wake. There are other funeral homes that I've seen that incorporate really unique spaces. So obviously, if you have something that is extremely unique, you want to make sure that that's on your website. But what I encourage you to do is take a couple of steps back and just start to list out all of the little things that make you different. I don't care how small they are, from you got different coffee, for example, like small things. It doesn't matter. And I want you to list those out on a sheet of paper and then start to kind of prioritize these. Which ones are resonating the most? What are some of the unique areas that when we talk about them to a prospective family, they're like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. That's different. That's unique. You start to see their tonality change a little bit. So step one is to write down all of the things, from little to big things, that make your funeral home different. What makes you different? What makes you unique? How are you going above and beyond? How are you doing things differently than everyone else? From there, start to rank them and kind of prioritize them just based off the ones that you already know families really like. And then look at your website. Look at the About Us page. Look at the different services pages. Look at your home page and ask yourself, are you incorporating all of these different things that you just ranked? Are you calling out what makes you unique? Yes or no? Now, the chances are pretty high. I've got a 90+% chance that most of those things that you listed out are nowhere to be found on your website. So take some time, go through this exercise, and what you'll find just in making some language tweaks, you will start to generate more business. If we could be of any help, I've got a link in our bio and description below to help you learn how you can continue to generate more pre-need as well as more at-need cases. Thank you for listening.